Jesus all is our context. So today, we are gathered here, 693 of us, gathered here as followers of Jesus. Now, some of you I know have also asked the question, why do we meet on Monday and Tuesday? How bizarre. Well, in part, it was like a Gideon filter. You know, Gideon went to battle against the Midianites, and he had 22,000 men. He was like, whoo, I'm going to go for it. And Jesus, the angel of the Lord, Melech Yahweh, Jesus himself said, hey, Gideon, let me show you how to rely on me for victory. And he took the 22,000 and in 3 moves brought it down to 300, or should I say 693.
You didn't come here because you were invited. You came here because in your soul you have this yearning. You didn't come here because someone invited you. You didn't come here because you were curious. What are these people about? You came here because somewhere you have an unutterable yearning of the soul for Christ. So James White, Jones, Waggoner, Ellen White also, I'll speak about her in a moment. They weren't crazy. You're not crazy. They had seen the glory of the one. And they had come alive, and they needed to be alive because they were going to swim against the current. In 1873, A.T. Jones, a former military sergeant who spent the years in the military studying theology and history, all that had led him to a profound love for Jesus. Once discharged from the army, he found these peculiar people, the Adventists, who believed the same things he did about prophecy. And so he joined them, he was baptized, but soon he realized that Adventists suffered from a condition that we've just recently come to diagnose and give a label to. It's called Jesus deficit disorder. These law-oriented Adventists left Jones cold. He couldn't reconcile this with the Jesus he had met in Scripture. The majority of the church, led by Butler and Smith, well, let's just say they weren't having any of it. George Butler, president of the General Conference at that time in 1888, opposed this Jesus before all things message. It didn't sound quite biblical to him. See, this quote probably explains part of the problem. This quote, this is what Butler said: being president of the church gives me clearer views than others on doctrinal issues. I've tried this at home. Uriah Smith, he had been the editor of the Adventist Review basically for 30 years. In 1888, he published this statement in the Review as a reaction to what Jones and Waggoner were saying. He said, Adventists have never taken a stand upon Bible exegesis, which they have been compelled to surrender. Really? 1844? Waggoner responded this way. He could have said, you're insane. But instead, he wrote this. He said, a change in our position would simply say that Adventists are better informed today than they were yesterday.